Welcome to the Porter Pridecast, episode number 17. I'm Brett Hespel, one of your hosts, along with Adam Decaire, another one of your hosts. We're here from Lockport Township High School, and you are listening to the number one rated LTHS podcast out there. What's going on, Decaire?
Not too much. Excited for another episode here. Great episode with the Sweet 16. So I'm looking forward to 17. We've been talking about it, and we're finally coming through, branching out with this episode. So it should be very educational.
Yeah, the number of listeners is rising across our podcast platforms.
Thank you to the Pridecast faithful.
That's right. It's all because of you guys. As Kevin Durant once said, you're the real MVP.
MVP.
So they're rising steadily each week. Before you know it, we'll be having international guests on.
We already got international listeners, so
it's true. We do have
get some guests on.
1% of our listeners are in Singapore. So whoever's out there in Singapore, we appreciate you, and we want you to contact us one day to tell us who you are. And then we just had one pop up from Germany. So whoever you are, let us know, because we want to connect with you. So anyway, or if you were just on vacation in Singapore, I would be really wondering why you were listening to this podcast while in Singapore on vacation.
The question more is not why, but why not? Why not?
It's a good point.
If you're going on a trip, download all your episodes beforehand.
Yeah.
Binge listen, binge watch.
True. So here we are, episode 17. We are in this lull between the end of fall activities at Lockport High School and the beginning of winter activities. Kind of this little break here right before Thanksgiving. It is November the 12th as we record this one. So we're taking this in a little bit different direction this week, which we're kind of excited about. But before we talk about that, we got 5 things we like. Some of which are the non-LTHS version this time because there's not that much going on. So let's do it. 5 things we like. I'll go first, Decaire. That sound like a good plan? Of course it sounds like a good plan. Why wouldn't it?
I insist.
What a gentleman. The first thing we like, last week we had a presidential election, and while the 2020 presidential election was kind of crazy, I like the number of people that voted. And so right now, as of this morning, I checked, and it was over 149 million people. Projected to be up to 160 some odd million votes by the time they're all counted. That would be the most votes ever. Of course, as the years go on, there's more people in the United States, so the total number of raw votes is always going to go up. But as a percentage, it is going to land somewhere in the 60 percentile of eligible voters. I did some research. Thank you.
Great research department here at the podcast.
Right. And so that is going to be the highest percentage since probably 1900, the election of 1900. So if you know anybody who was around at the election of 1900, let them know. We'll bring them on too. I don't think there's anybody left though. So
sadly, probably not.
But yeah, I like that. I like democracy in action. That's good to see. I'm a social studies guy. So are you? I was
going to say, as 2 social studies teachers, our civic duty to exercise our right to vote. For a second there, I thought you started talking about population. I thought we were going to get into Unit 2 of AP Human Geography. So shout out to all our AP hugs. Always thinking about you.
AP hug life.
It's great. All the campaigns. It was awesome to see. Trying to get more and more people out to vote. So hopefully that trend continues.
Sticking with the government, like maybe we should have brought on the great Jim Murtaugh to give his analysis, or Daniel Blaskowitz. But Daniel Blaskowitz is coming at episode 200. So
yeah, 200, almost there. Stay patient.
Only 183 to go, Dan. Your time's coming. With the countdown. You need one of those countdowns like they have in the football
Right.
rooms in the offseason to the next game. You need that in
Episode
your house.
200.
Get it, Dan.
It will be here before you know it.
So that's the first thing we like.
Go ahead. Do another one.
Okay.
You're on a roll.
You really know how to make a guy feel special. Second thing we like, winter sports are around the corner coming up here, starting next week, in fact. We've got boys swimming and diving. We've got our competitive dance and our competitive cheer teams. And we've got boys and girls bowling all starting up next week. So sometime in the next month, we'll have to get some of those people on and get a little preview of the winter sports season at LTHS. Sure to be a successful one. Unfortunately, boys and girls basketball are postponed at the moment. No start date to be determined. Got to get those COVID numbers down. We're trying to get Governor Pritzker on to find out when the start date of basketball will be. So far, he has not agreed to come on the show. So if you know Governor Pritzker, you're more than welcome, sir. We'll bring you on. That's our second thing.
We're also a political podcast now.
That's true, yeah. We're just branching out all over the place, which is going to be number 4, so hang on.
Yeah.
Decaire, you take a turn.
Let's brace ourselves. Wow. Well, thank you for letting me get involved here. On some positive news here, we've got some great things happening with some of our senior athletes with signing day happening with D1, D2, the JUCO, junior college athletics. So I have quite a lengthy list here of seniors to pay their due diligence, which is a great problem to have. It's always awesome to see your athletes of your school go on and compete in the sports that they love. So with signing day going on, we got a couple Pridecast.
Do you have these in alphabetical order, by the way?
I do not.
Why not?
I got them by sport. I have them by sport though.
Oh, good job.
So the former Pridecast guest, the star sectional champion, Camila Kalinowska, University of Illinois Springfield for girls tennis. So great job, Camila. Matt Ahrens, boys volleyball, Linden One University. Nice job, Matt. Also with girls volleyball, Nadia Goich, University of New Hampshire, going out East Coast here. Will Kiley, another former podcast guest, University of Wisconsin Parkside.
For cross country. By the way, Will was episode 8, maybe?
Episode 8, yes.
And then Camilla was episode 14? 13. 14. 14. 14. She's episode 14. So you can go check both of them out.
Do it. Yeah. So bring you.
And if they weren't those episodes, those were great episodes too. You should check them out anyway.
Just 1 through 16. Go check them out.
They're great. Yeah.
So be prepared, Wisconsin. You got some magic coming your way. The Magic Man.
That's right.
We've talked about Ben Slouzis multiple times. Boys golf, NIU. Josephine Bober, girls cross country, Lewis University. Hot off girls cross country sectional champions. Great job, girls. Sticking with girls cross country, Abby Hagan going out to Colorado Mountain College out west.
Colorado Mountain College. Oh,
yeah.
Sounds nice.
They got some mountains out in Colorado.
You like Colorado, man.
Grace Mildice, also with girls cross country, will be joining University of Wisconsin Parkside with Will Kiley. Double quarter action there. Ryan Mormon, University of Illinois for boys baseball, ILL. Jacob Sitterly.
Not Illinois.
Jacob Sitterly going out to Spoon River University for baseball. Joe Mandrella, JJC. Justin Waddell, JJC. Matt Santarelli, Western Illinois. All those the boys baseball team. And then we have Caitlin Wolf, softball, going to St. Joseph University. So great job. Congratulations to all those seniors and their families. Awesome to see your hard work, dedication, pay off, and we wish you best of luck next year.
Yeah, it's always good. Kids start playing and they're like, they want to go. It's one of their goals. They want to play college athletics. I don't think most people understand how difficult it is to go play college athletics at any level. The time commitment, the dedication to your craft you have to have. It sounds nice because when you're in high school and junior high, that's the fun thing to do. But to stick with it and to go play in college, it's a big commitment. I can tell you that honestly. So congratulations to all of those kids. I hope they do well. Go Porters. One day when you're All-American in college, you can come back on the Porter Pridecast so we can talk about the day that Decaire rambled through all those signing day commitments. I can't wait till the D3 signing day in the spring.
15 seconds of fame.
I can't wait till the D3 signing day in the spring when there's twice as many. That'll be fun.
We'll get the scroll up.
Yeah. So that's the third thing we like. Fourth thing we like, I alluded to this just a minute ago. We are branching out here on the show. So far, our first 17 episodes have been focused on athletics at Lockport, primarily because Decaire and I are heavily involved in athletics. But there's a lot of other great stuff going on. And so we are committed to bringing that to you. And that's going to start today, where we are going to feature the Porter Players Drama Club on this episode and talk about their upcoming show, Shakespeare in the Port. So I'm excited to get our first guests, that's right, multiple guests, multiple future Emmy and Academy Award winning stars on the show to talk about Shakespeare in the Port, which is coming up soon. So stay tuned for that interview. That'll be fun.
Definitely excited about that one. And fifth and final thing, save the best for last. Yesterday being November 11th, celebrating Veterans Day. So just a huge thank you for all our veterans, both that are still with us and those that have passed on. Thank you for what you've done for this country, for all of us, for our freedoms. Always a great opportunity to thank any veterans that you know. So we had a great video tribute go out around district. So, great job by Mr. George Pullman, LTHS staff, also, veteran, Dr. Green, Eric Slager, Janine Wheeler, Coach Dave Jaglinski, and Betty Colino for that video. And, if you have not been to Central Campus, obviously with everything going on, restrictions on visiting the building, but Coach Jags and Ms. Sermon did a great job turning that Veterans Foyer right when you enter there by the gym. Awesome, absolutely awesome. So next time, hopefully soon when things open back up, hopefully we can get some more basketball games. You could stop by and see. So again, thank you to all our veterans. Thank you for our freedom.
Yeah, I can't say enough about them. Given, I said this to my class yesterday. My classes yesterday. I mean, all those people could have done whatever they wanted to do with their lives, and they dedicated a couple years or more in the service of our country. So thank you for that service. Means a lot. There's our 5 things we like. Decaire, one thing I don't like.
When this ends?
Well, okay, 2 things I don't like. So that's one. Of course. Decaire has moved into this new basement, and he's got to get his sound quality figured out.
Dog in the studio here? I got all this space. Looks like I'm in outer space.
Yeah. He's blaming the computer, but, I think it's more of an operator error type of issue. That's the little background fuzziness you hear. So that's what I don't like. You just gassed up your A game next week.
I will fix that before episode 18 so I can get back on the 5 things you do like.
Yeah, otherwise you're going to be replaced. Bo Starkey, where are you? We're going to need a guest host here. Step in for this nonsense.
Don't do it, Bobo.
Well, we've dropped all kinds of people this week in the LTHS.
Shout out. Episode 17. Episode of the shout outs.
Yeah.
More coming your way. I have a feeling.
All right. So we're going to transition to our interviews for the day. Remember, these are the Porter Players. So we're going to be right back with the drama group. Here we go, Decaire. The moment we've been waiting for. This is our first non-athletics guest on our show history. So we wanted to start with the best of the best.
You know, Mr. Hespel, that I ran the Boston Marathon last year.
That's a good point, but
that's what we're here to talk about, right?
No, I think my agent might have misconnected with your agent.
I just mentioned that because I hope Pat Dean listens to it. He's very annoyed that I always talk about my marathons. So shout out to Pat Dean. Love you, P. Dean. Yes, I ran 7 marathons.
She's completely taken over the podcast here. I didn't even get a chance to introduce her yet. Like, it's just
this is why we don't invite people outside of sports.
Yeah.
Us artists, we like to talk. It's true.
So here we are with the one and only LTHS Porter Players Director, English teacher at Lockport High School, Dr. Laura Gilbert. How you doing, Doc Hollywood? How's
I am well, Brett, NBA Hespel. I am well. Thanks for asking.
Thanks for coming on. We seriously, this is the first time we've featured something that is not athletics related to LTHS. We've been, waiting to branch out here, but there just hasn't been a lot going on. So we've been trying to search for stuff, and here we go with your guys' upcoming event. We'll talk about that in a minute, but let's talk about a little bit about your background first. So how long have you been at LTHS? How long have you been associated with the LTHS drama program? And what's kind of like your background in drama before you even got to teaching at LTHS? How'd you get into it?
My older brother was in high school plays. And as a middle schooler, I went to see them and I said, I want to be on the big stage in a high school someday. And I just never left, I guess. I started in Lockport at 2001, fall of 2001, and I was teaching English at Central Campus and directing the drama program at East. And so I've been at this about 20 years here at Lockport. And every year seems to be more interesting than the next,
Yeah, that is true. So were you the director, like, right off the bat when you came in?
True. Yeah, I had taught for 3 years previously at my alma mater and got my feet wet there, and then came to Lockport, and I was the head of theater activities. And yeah, it's been a really good team there. Mr. Frickholm has been there since prior to me. A number of wonderful assistant directors have been with us, starting with Madame Lee from Foreign Language. She's in theater with us as well. And now I work with Pat Dean, who I mentioned before, and Kennedy Musich, who is a fellow English teacher. She is a former Porter player and returned to teach at Lockport, and she's the assistant director of theater activities. And other shout outs would be Mr. Getz works with us on the musical. And the improv troupe has really flourished under Mr. Dean. And so we're kind of the core group that runs the drama program.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so it sounds like, a lot of moving parts with the directors working with, Mr. Getz and music. Why don't you talk to us a little bit about the upcoming show here? What's it called? What's it about? Give us a little bit of a preview in anticipation of that show coming up.
So the show coming up is actually, we're in the future. So we actually recorded it last Saturday. We had a lot of brainstorming and different ways to approach live theater during this time of social distancing. And so what I did was put together a show that's entirely monologues and small scenes, so that actors didn't need to interact with too many other individuals. We could keep rehearsals small. Some rehearsals could happen over Google Meet and things of that nature. Then when it came to the performance, the students were only able to invite a couple of family members to come see it. And we actually spread the audience around the building. So we had, the filming was happening in the auditorium, and Mr. Slager from the tech department did film the students performing on Saturday at 6 p.m. And as soon as they were done performing on stage in the auditorium, they moved to the cafeteria, and there was a small audience, socially distanced, of about 25 people in the cafeteria. We had a mini set in there, and they performed for those individuals. As soon as they were done there, they moved around and they went into the gym, where we had another 20 to 25 audience members. Then they snaked through to room 107 They performed for another 20 to 25 audience members there and then returned to the auditorium. So they did perform for about 70 family members, all masked, all sitting separately in their family groups. And Mr. Frickholm and his crew did construct small sort of mini stages for us to set up in the cafeteria, the gymnasium, and room 107, so that they moved around and were kind of elevated on a little bit of a platform when they performed. So we normally run for 4 nights, and instead we did 4 shows in one night.
So, okay, so so let's get this straight. So you recorded the presentation that people can see this upcoming weekend already, correct?
Correct. On stage in the auditorium, full theatrical lights and sound and stage.
So give us the details about anybody that, like, what's the advertisement for? I saw it on Twitter, but you tell us the advertisement, what's coming up here so everyone knows the details.
Sure. So what audiences will see is the top members of the drama club performing scenes and monologues from Shakespeare's comedies. So they perform some of the most famous scenes, the balcony scene from Romeo and Juliet, the witches from Macbeth. They some wonderful monologues. Somebody opened with some poems, some of Shakespeare's most famous sonnets, and they perform those on the stage. And there's also a little bit of it. I call it narration, but it's kind of like the actor introduces themselves. They recorded themselves giving a little bit of preview of what their scene is about. So there's a narration, and then it leads into their performance, and then it moves on to another person and another. There's about 10 scenes or monologues, and it's about an hour-long show.
So, like you know, Coach Espo mentioned, we're kind of fish out of water here when it comes to the arts. Let's say, you know, I'm an incoming freshman, don't have any experience. I want to get involved. You know, I show up.
Nice beard for an incoming freshman.
We don't judge in the drama club, Mr. Huspel.
That's
They don't
true.
judge.
That's
Pick
true.
all the kids.
So let's say, you know, I show up, and I should have mentioned this is a true story. I actually did this my freshman year, and they closed the door on me and told me I had to go play football instead. So that didn't really happen. But how would a you know, a student who has no experience come in? You know, how does that kind of work? You know, where do I find my best fit, and how to take us through that process?
I'm glad you asked. Well, normally we would have an informational meeting at the beginning of the year, and we really fill the auditorium. We'll get about 200 kids come out. We tell them about how we are an educational program. We'll teach them some acting skills. We have a full tech crew, lights, sound, stagecraft, and we also have a production staff. So we have students who do the advertising, the publicity, the box office stuff. We hold a lot of auditions through the year. We do have multiple productions, and if a student doesn't make a main stage show, which would be a show performed on our big auditorium stage at East Campus, there are smaller shows throughout the year. We do a variety show, which is like a talent show. And we also have a night of student-directed one-acts. And that student-directed show this year is going to be radio dramas. So the student directors, the top kids, the top seniors, they have selected some radio dramas from the 1940s, and they are going to rehearse those. And as you can imagine, those will be easy to rehearse remotely via Google Meet, because everyone has their individual part, their individual radio voice. And those auditions are actually coming up in about a week and a half. This year's auditions, of course, are not our usual way, but they can submit via Flipgrid an audition at our drama Bitly page. And they're welcome to look at our drama page through the activities tab of lths.org.
It's a comprehensive program.
I think that was an invitation for us to audition. I've always been told I got the face for radio, so maybe that.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. This is your season.
Yeah. Perfect for you, incoming freshman Decaire. So you've been at it for about 20 years. Any standout performances in the past? Any plays or musicals that just like that was one of my favorites? That we, not just the play itself, but like here at Lockport? That was one of my favorite ones that we've ever done, or anything jump out at you? Because there's been a lot. So
there's been a lot. It's been really fun to get into the competitive theater. We do IHSA Group and Terp, which is competitive readers theater. And that's been really fun. And we've been pretty successful. We've gone downstate a couple of times. So some of those are very memorable to me, for sure. My second year at Lockport, we did West Side Story. And that is one that I just will always remember. It's kind of like all the pieces really came together. The cast was just absolutely spot on. And so that's one that has always stood out to me as one of my favorites, but it's really hard to choose, and it's really kind of unfair to make me.
Yeah, no, I got you.
Who's your favorite basketball player?
Yeah, I got you.
Answer the question.
Dodge the hard-hitting questions. I see how it is.
Yeah.
Dodge the hard-hitting questions. Decaire, what else you got?
You kind of talked a little bit about this already with, some of the rehearsals and stuff with Google Meets, but with everything going on, what are some other challenges for this season compared to others? And, what are some other ways that you guys have been able to come up with creative ideas to get around with?
My students and my student directors, who I understand you'll talk to soon, they were very helpful in keeping everyone distant. We would separate around the stage, around the lobby area. We have a couple different places we like to go in the building to rehearse. And so we kind of separate out, and they worked as really excellent leaders for me to keep everything separate. Of course, when students arrived at school for rehearsal, if it was not their A through L, M through Z day, we went through the temperature checks. We checked that everybody was healthy and well before coming in the building, kept masks on, which is really odd for an actor, of course, because, your body and your face is your instrument. And they really had to overcome having half of their face covered to perform. So they really learned to use their voices. And like I said, I really relied on my student leaders, for sure.
All right, so Shakespeare in the Port, the 14th at 7:00. Is that correct?
That is correct.
And how can people see it?
So there's a link through LTHS.org that brings you to a website called Showtix for You, and they're our streaming platform. It is $15 for a household stream, but LTHS students and faculty can email us at porterplayers@lths.org, and we will send them a complimentary screening code.
There you go. So coming up here, you get to see Shakespeare in the Port, a Shakespearean comedy collection. Who made this little graphic, by the way, that I'm looking at on my phone right here? Who made that?
That would be Mr. Dean. I asked him to find a way to have Shakespeare in the port and taking a selfie.
And he's got the camera on him.
He's got the camera on him, yeah.
And I also saw that you got a little clever fundraiser dinner and a show idea going on. What's that?
Absolutely. So a profit sharing dinner through Panera in Lockport, and any time on Saturday from open to close that you mention the Porter Players, you can show them our flyer on your phone, or if you have it with you, and a percentage of your bill goes as a fundraiser to the drama club. So we're hoping some people pick up some Panera, bring it home, and log on to Showtix for You and watch our show. And that would be great. That'd be very supportive of our program.
Good way to spend a weekend.
Sure.
Well, Dr. Gilbert, we're going to bring on some of those student directors you mentioned. So thank you for your time. I mean it sincerely. I'm super impressed by the program you guys have and the stuff that you put together for the kids all year long. It's a reflection of you, Mr. Dean, Ms. Musich, Mr. Frickholm, and then all the kids. It's you guys do a great job, and I'm sure this is just one more feather in the cap for you there.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me, and I am honored to be the first artist on your podcast.
That's right. First one. Best one. First one and best one.
Thanks. Nice talking to you, Mr. Decaire, as well.
Thanks for coming on.
That's debatable. You don't have to mention that.
If I ever go back to being a freshman, thank you for the advice. I feel much more prepared.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's Dr. Laura Gilbert, director of the Porter Players at Lockport High School. We will be back in just a minute with some of the student directors. Good to hear from Dr. Gilbert. They do a great job. They have for a long time. If you haven't seen any of their productions before, they're first class. You'd think you're on Broadway. And they do a variety of stuff, like she mentioned. They've got the play, they've got a musical in the spring, the variety show, the one acts, the comedy troupe. We'll have to get the comedy shower cap kids on one of these days. That'd be funny.
Are we not funny enough for the audience?
Well, I mean, we are, but you got to keep giving them new stuff, Decaire. Yeah, they do a great job. And so if you get a chance to go, you're looking for something to do Saturday, you can check out Shakespeare in the Port at 7:00 on Saturday night.
Yeah, no, that was like we, Pridecast here, Porter Pridecast. We advertise that we are about all things Lockport, and up until now, it's been just athletics. So this was a nice opportunity to kind of branch out, which we said we've been looking to do. So this is a great opportunity, great history, like Coach Hustle just mentioned, and great to hear from Dr. Gilbert. But she we said our first non-athletic, but she dropped an IHSA bomb there, talked about going downstate, talked about the teamwork with their student directors. So I think that might be like a tie between activities and athletics. So always back to sports here, apparently. And
she's right. She is a marathoner, ran the Boston Marathon. So it's all related. It's all related. Right.
If you didn't know that now, Mr. Dean, you do know. You now know.
There you go.
Awesome marathon runner.
All right, so a special episode here. We've got two more guests we're going to bring on. Two of the student directors that Dr. Gilbert just mentioned. We're going to be right back with them. Here we go. We've got two of the student directors from the Porter Players here joining us. So we're going to interview them for a couple minutes and hear what they have to say. I'm sure that they have some great insights on the show. Joining us today is LTHS senior Morgan Dapkus. Hello, Morgan. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Decaire, before we introduce Aidan here, Morgan was in my class freshman year.
I'm sorry.
And no, that's not the response you're supposed to give. And Morgan had a joke of the day. We had a little feature going. So I asked her to bring us a joke of the day today for the Porter Pridecast. And she said she has one. So
I brought a good one.
You got a good one. All right, you want to hit us with this?
Classic
It's being
setup.
recorded. It's being recorded. I hope you know this.
Okay, you know what? I'm ready. Okay, I'm prepared. Classic setup. I said knock knock.
Who's there?
Who's there?
Hike.
Hike?
Who?
Hike who?
I didn't know you were a fan of Japanese poetry.
That
was a good one.
Yes.
Thank you.
And the crowd goes wild. See, every day freshman year, Decaire, that's what we had going on.
Me versus Devin.
Yeah.
That's just a new. This could be a new segment. I mean, we had Will Kiley on. He did magic. Now we got stand-up comedy here. It's just gets better and better at the Pridecast.
It's better and better. Besides Morgan, we're also joined by LTHS senior Aidan Callahan. Aidan, what's going on, my man?
Not much. Living. Getting my potassium up.
It's a nice looking banana.
Yeah.
Aidan is actually the second member of his family to have been on the show because we had Devin on. What episode was that, Decaire?
We've had so many successful episodes now. It's hard to keep track. I believe
15.
No, it was not 15.
Yeah, it was with
15. Yes, you are correct. Seems like ages ago.
Yeah, it does.
2 weeks.
And Devin had some technical difficulties. Aidan is promising that he's going to much smoother transition here, right?
We good.
But I have to give your brother credit. He is very dedicated to his craft. He got some extra running practice in while on air.
That's true.
Walking through your house to get the spot. So
yeah,
if you need to rehearse any lines or anything while we're going, feel free.
I would love to.
Yeah.
I don't run, so I will not be running ever. So
I don't blame you, Aidan. I don't blame you at all.
Yeah.
All right, Decaire, why don't you fire away for these two, and let's hear their thoughts here.
Yeah, so obviously first, thanks for taking some time out of your afternoon here to spend with us, and both you being seniors, both being involved, with the drama club for 4 years here. Why don't you guys both take a turn and kind of just reflect on your 4 years of being involved? We'll probably talk about some of the favorite memories, so we can hold off on those, but just kind of talk us through your experiences here at Lockport.
You want to go first?
Nah, I insist. You go.
Okay, I'll go first.
A gentleman.
Yep.
Okay, so I started drama club my freshman year of high school. I auditioned for the fall play, but I didn't make it, so progress. I started off on the improv team, the Shower Cap Kids, in the student-directed 1X, and I've been a member of that for 4 years. I'm actually the director of it now with Aidan.
Yep.
And I've done pretty much everything in this club, from fall play, 1X, group interpretation, and I made the musical last year, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you made it, or because of the pandemic?
Yeah, that's probably
the
it.
pandemic.
They were like, "Oh, I don't want Morgan on that team." No.
Yeah. Let's cancel school.
Shut it all down. Shut it down.
Yeah.
Aidan, go ahead, man.
Yeah, same as Morgan. I've always been involved in drama club. I actually quit sports freshman year to be in drama club because I wanted that to be my main focus. And yeah, I loved every second of it. I love the Shower Cap Kids. We have a show coming out in December, maybe like a virtual like video movie, maybe. But yeah, I love all of drama club. Love the musicals. Love fall play. I mean, yeah, I love all of it. So yeah.
Did you say you had a follow-up question for that one?
No, I guess we could jump right into that. But
Go ahead.
So looking back to 4 years, just doesn't matter if it's through theater or huge fan of the Shower Cap Kids, by the way. During quarantine, I really got a kick out of the videos. Just reminded me of, there was something with a cat, and I just remember laughing hysterically. I don't remember what it was. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it unless one of you remembers. But something with the cat. I believe it might even been you, Aidan, who said something.
I do own a cat. Yeah.
Boots is always making her entrance.
My cat is so weird. She literally she like eats a cardboard box in my room. She's eaten like half of this box that I have in my room. She's weird. She's annoying.
Think maybe you should take that away from her?
Yeah. Maybe the person in the room should move the cardboard box.
Yeah.
True. That is true. Yeah.
But yeah, why don't you each share maybe one memory or your favorite highlight of your 4 years, or just something that really sticks out?
For me, something that's really stuck out in these 4 years was definitely part of the Shower Cap Kids show. It was actually last year when we were about to perform. It was raining really hard, and so there was a leak coming right down on center stage right before the show was about to start. So we put like a bunch of trash cans and like buckets underneath it with like a carpet, and we just performed around the big leak. It was so fun.
That's great.
We were bringing the roof down. That's for sure.
Literally.
Yes.
That's one way to do it.
Aidan, did you have a?
I think one of my most favorite memories was with SCK probably about 2 years ago when we got to perform one of the shows that we had written at Theater Fest, which is like basically it's like a huge convention with like a bunch of other schools that also do theater, and they all watch like your show and stuff. So that was like a really amazing experience. And this was back when Morgan had blonde hair, so it was a different time.
It was a different me.
Good for you. All right, so let's talk about this show. So it's Shakespeare in the Port. So tell us a little bit about what the audience could expect before we get into the details about how they can watch. Tell us a little bit about what to expect.
Yeah, well, it's a huge variety of scenes. There's a lot of monologues and 2-person scenes, and then there's 1 3-person scene, and it's all through like different Shakespeare, like different shows that Shakespeare has done and written. And it was just a lot of fun for everyone to just work on their own scene and just to perform it in front of everyone else. So yeah.
Yeah, we tried to pick lots of different comedies to like lighten the mood, obviously, because
Yeah.
it's a stressful time, but like there's always time for a little comedy, even
Sure.
if it's Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
And your guys, so explain what student directors do. Like what was your role through this whole process?
Well, we helped with Dr. Gilbert. We make sure that like everyone's good on their lines and like reviewing all their scenes and making sure everyone has like the necessary like tools that they need. Like they had like microphones to like record the scenes at home for like videos and stuff like that. So yes, like that.
Professionals here.
So yeah, it was just a matter of helping everyone out and stuff. So
Yeah, we would go to rehearsal every single day. Not everyone is called every day, but we were there like 24/7 working to help with individual scenes or like group scenes, getting like the underclassmen used to what it's like to perform, even if it's in like this weird setting.
Yeah.
And it's just overall, it's like keeping the spirits up too.
And so talk a little bit about how this has been modified because of COVID.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
it's fine. Okay.
Okay.
For our performances, we normally do 4 nights of a show. We do Thursday through Sunday, but this year we combined it all into one night and did 4 individual shows. We had one big main stage in the auditorium with like the full lighting and the full set where we could set up and run the show as it's supposed to be seen. And then we had 3 individual annex sets that were like smaller versions of the set that we could work off of, where we did like modified blocking renditions of the show to accommodate a smaller audience of like 20 or something people so that we could go from room to room and people could still see it live. We invited like our family and stuff.
That's great.
Yeah, and it was a lot smaller cast than usual, and especially with like the tech and like everyone else, it was just a lot smaller scale, which is why we like centered it mainly around like monologues or a couple person scenes, so then they could just like stay apart and stuff. But yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of mentioned, Morgan, you mentioned auditioning. You know, I always wondered with what are the biggest challenges with being involved? Is it like remembering lines? Luckily, I mean, Mr. Hespel made me audition to be on the show. Luckily, there was nobody else auditioned, so I kind of didn't matter what happened.
Dude, I gotta pick this guy.
What are some of the biggest challenges? Is it memorizing lines, or we're completely fish out of water when it comes to you know, anything outside of music sports? I mean, I'm a man of many talents, but wherever he's at, look, I don't know where he is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for auditions, you don't really have to memorize. You get like a monologue to audition with. It's not necessarily supposed to be memorized, but you're supposed to be familiar enough with it that you're not like staring down at the paper. So it's a matter of like reading through it a million times, getting yourself familiar with it, and then also trying to embody the character that your directors are looking to see. It's a complicated process, and obviously this year it was a lot different because we submitted video auditions instead of auditioning in person, which was interesting, but it gave lots of other people opportunities to audition that normally wouldn't.
So Aidan, as a student director, are you involved in the audition process as well as the like actual production of the show?
We were actually not involved in the audition process. The directors were picked after the fact. Because yeah, if not, then like maybe we'd like accidentally put like all our friends on it and be like, oh, this sucks. So
Oh, weird. How'd that happen?
Oh, yeah.
oh, weird.
Wow, how did they get on the team? I didn't know they did drama club.
So did you guys have to like put your name out there to be student directors, or how does that work?
So Dr. Gilbert sent out like an announcement saying that if anyone's interested in being a student director, then let her know. And then Morgan jumped on it right away, and I did not, because I don't know, I didn't. And then Morgan was like, just do it with me. It'd be like so cool because like we're also directing the Shower Cap Kids. And I'm like, whatever, okay.
Yeah, I dragged them into it with me.
Peer pressure.
Yeah, that was that.
Probably also said, you know what, we could probably get on the Porter Pridecast if we both do this together.
That was definitely
Yeah.
what it was.
I could talk to Hespel and
Dynamic
Decaire.
duo.
Yes. Yes. See, it's the perks. All right. So we don't want to keep you too long, but we do want to get information about how people can watch the show this upcoming weekend. Do you know that information?
You can go to lths.org. It should be on the main page there to give you more information about how to stream it. But we're streaming on showticksforyou.com. You should be able to buy a code to watch the show on there. I don't know the exact details, but it would be that website that you go to.
And that's Saturday night, correct?
Mm-hmm.
There
There's
you go.
also a fundraiser at Panera for the Porter players.
Yeah, I saw this dinner and a show idea. Like, what's so Panera in Lockport?
Yeah.
It's all day long, and if you just say you're with the drama club, then they give some proceeds to the drama club, and then
There you go. So Saturday night, dinner and a show. The Porter players have you covered for Saturday night.
Get the mac and cheese. It's so good.
There you go.
Yep.
Aidan Morgan, what are you guys going to do next year? Any ideas?
You can go first, Morgan. Again.
I'm still applying to colleges, but right now I'm applying to art schools in like cities. I'm planning on majoring in like film and photography
Nice.
and like cinema.
Awesome. Good for you.
I am not super sure what I want to do exactly, or what college. I'm thinking I want to do something in music, but other than that, I don't know that much. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure that being on this show is going to launch your prospects, and all of a sudden doors will be opening all over the place for you.
It's our path to fame.
by the way, can you write me a letter of rep, please? Thanks.
Yeah, of course. I'll write one for every person who comes on.
We'll just submit this. We'll just submit this episode, the audio file.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, check this out.
Get a load of this.
Yeah. Aidan, we appreciate you taking some time to come on and talk to us. Great work as always. We told Dr. Gilbert we were super impressed with the everything the Porter players do, and that includes you guys. And I know that you guys have worked really hard this fall to put this together. So congratulations to you on that. Best of luck down the road. And you know what, Decaire, we're going to have to get the shower cap kids on in the future.
I think so. Absolutely.
Can we make
Oh,
that
you
happen?
totally should.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to make it happen at some point coming up here.
Yes,
Okay,
thank you so much for having us.
This
Yeah,
will
it
not
was
be the
very
last
fun.
time you see these two, is what I'm telling you. This will not be the last time. So, all right, thanks, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Awesome
thank you.
job. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
Well, that was a lot of fun. Aidan Callahan and Morgan Dapkus of the Porter Players, the student directors for the fall play here, Shakespeare in the Port. They did a great job, as you would expect. Always enjoy the theater kids because they have such great personalities. That's always great. So it's good to get them on.
Yeah, you could definitely see the dynamics and how well they work together, which is probably why the drama program is always as successful and the shows are always a hit. So it's that hard work. But it was great to have them on. A lot of good laughs. Almost as dynamic as.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I just think.
You think people say that about us?
I think it's the Pridecast effect. It's branching out. So.
Great dynamics or dysfunctional, another word that starts with DY, and it's one of those two. Yeah, so again, this weekend, Saturday night, you can go on the school website and find the information. You can also find it on Twitter at Porter Players. That's November 14th, Saturday night at 7 o'clock. You can stream that show. You could also stop by Panera in Lockport and support the Porter Players by picking up dinner as well. So nice little weekend there. Nice little weekend.
Oh, I always say, hey, I got dinner plans. Dinner's covered on Saturday. Give me some points here.
Hey, Mrs. Decaire, you're good to go.
Hey, dinner's good Saturday.
You heard it here first.
Breaking news.
Yeah. So that's good. That's coming up. Beyond that, Decaire, we usually pop in the week ahead here, but we're in this like funky in between time where we're in the middle of the COVID pandemic still. Cases are rising in November here, so school at Lockport is back to remote learning, and winter sports have not started yet. That's coming up soon, so maybe we'll have some more focus on those down the road here. Just trying to highlight the different things that are coming up. By the way, if you do have something you could reach out to us, right? If you know of something at Lockport that's going well, you want to be featured.
Yeah, shoot us an email at porterpodcast@lths.org, or find us on Twitter or Instagram, same handle there, Porter Pridecast. If something's going on and you want featured, let us know. We like to with this episode, we like to branch out and include all things Lockport. That's what we do here. Our motto here at the podcast. Even though we don't have anything officially a week ahead, I can tell you something is coming up. Episode 18 next week. That's always a constant. So
right, maybe we can interview ourselves.
There you go. We're back and forth here.
By the way, if you have a studio that Decaire can use to get rid of this muffled sound in his, we're accepting donations for that too. Amateur.
I haven't unpacked the boom mic and the
that's true.
soundproof studio.
He just moved into a new studio. The Decaire family moved with the express purpose of building a state-of-the-art Porter Pridecast studio in the basement.
As you can see, it's a work in progress here, but I got a lot more room, got some privacy, and
yeah, that's good. All right, so don't forget to follow along: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Like the show, give us a review, give us a 5-star rating. Tell your friends, tell your grandma. They'll listen. Decaire's mom left us a comment on YouTube, so good to see her.
Thank you, Ma.
My mom doesn't know how to use YouTube, so I don't expect any from her. So family's always there for you, though. So anyway, this is the number one LTHS podcast there is. Still, 17th straight week atop the ratings.
Hot. We're hot, baby.
Keep it rolling, man. And remember, Decaire, that no one
talks Porters like we talk Porters.
That's right. We'll see you next week. Go Porters.
Go Porters.
Hey, listeners. This is Brett Hespel of the Porter Pridecast. Just wanted to thank you for joining the show, but we also want to make sure you follow along. So here's our other host, Adam Decaire. We'll talk about where you can follow us.
Yeah. Again, thanks for logging in, giving us a listen. Make sure to follow us on all your social media needs on Twitter and Instagram. You can find us at Porter Pridecast for both. So give us a like, give us a retweet, spread the word, tell all your friends, tell all your followers, like both those accounts, and keep on coming back.
And you can get the show, you can get our podcast wherever you find your podcasts. And you could also check out Porter Pridecast TV on YouTube. Just search Porter Pridecast on both, and you'll be able to come up with them. So make sure you subscribe to both of those channels so you can get all the episodes when they come out.
Don't forget to leave us those reviews, preferably 5 stars, and keep spreading the word. Go Porters.
Go Porters.